Before we get started, please remember to like the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And you can also leave comments. Please keep your comments respectful. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Now let's get started. September has been quite the month. Right now, for the past week, everyone has been talking about P. Diddy. He was arrested last week and is now in jail without bail. And prior to that, there was a second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. But in this video, we're going to talk about P. Diddy. I'm not in the least bit surprised at all, really. For over 20 years, probably since 2001, I sensed that P. Diddy was not a good person, and he always came off as a cutthroat person. Your typical music mogul who is in the industry. I never saw him as a good person. And he always saw himself as being untouchable because he had other people who would protect him from getting into trouble and being held accountable. And there were also a lot of people who were just too afraid to speak out or say anything. And he was able to pay people off and sweep things under the rug without anyone finding out. So why has all of this recently come out? Within the last year, with the lawsuit that Cassie filed against him, since then, things have just been going downhill, and a lot of information has come out and a lot of different stories. And even the video that was leaked to CNN earlier this year with him physically abusing Cassie in that hotel lobby in Los Angeles back in 2016. And that was 8 years ago. So for 8 years, someone had this video in their possession and did not release this video or turn it over to anyone. And rumor has it that he paid off the hotel too. So why all of a sudden did they decide to leak the video? But I believe that all of this came out recently because P. Diddy upset a group of powerful people who were over him, who had more leverage than he had. And they felt that it was time for them to go after him, and that his time as being this big time mogul who was untouchable, his time was up. And they already knew that they had a lot on him, so they could easily take him down and ruin his reputation if he were to get out of line. And I think the reason for that was because his vodka brand, Ciroc, which I don't think was actually his, I don't think he owned it, but it was through another company that was in charge of it, and they used him as the face of it, a mascot for that brand, to sell more merchandise. Because it didn't sell the way that he wanted it to, I guess he felt like he wasn't getting enough of a cut of the profits, maybe. He filed a lawsuit against them and won. And that really set things on fire for him. So they knew they had to get him. And then the Cassie lawsuit came out. But originally I heard earlier in 2023, her attorneys were asking for, I think, a settlement or for a payout of around $30 million. And P. Diddy and his people refused to do it. In November of last year, that's when the lawsuit came out, and he eventually ended up settling with her maybe a day or two later. I don't think he would be in jail right now had he just paid the $30 million or the amount that they were originally asking for before the lawsuit was public. I know that there are other people involved who should also be held accountable. The question is, will they be held accountable? There's no way that P. Diddy could have done all of this all by himself. I know that there were other people involved, and there were other people who were complicit in the activities that he took part in. And rumor has it, there are actually politicians, high-profile celebrities, and even big-time social media influencers that are involved too. I noticed that a lot of them have been quiet. A lot of them have been keeping a low profile since he was arrested last week for the charges for racketeering and all of the others. And a lot of them seem to be distancing themselves from him too, because they do not want to be connected to anything that has to do with him. But I don't feel sorry for P. Diddy. Over the last 3 decades, he has hurt a lot of people. He has only been out for himself and not the well-being of others. I can't think of any of the artists that were signed to the Bad Boy label that actually did well for themselves and to live and tell about it. But I wonder if Diddy is going to start singing like a canary and calling other people out who were involved and refusing to go down alone. I don't know. There's a chance that he might, but then again, you know what happens to guys who squeal. Jeffrey Epstein, he said that he was going to take everyone involved down with him, and we all know what his fate was. I don't think P. Diddy is going to take his own life while he's in prison or in jail. I think his reason for not eating is that he's going through withdrawal from the party favors that he usually has access to. He no longer has access to those. So it'll be interesting to see if P. Diddy calls out or names the high-profile celebrities who are involved, the high-profile individuals. Or is he just going to go down alone? There are other people who have known about this, but a lot has gone under the rug. No one has done anything about it until now. And it's really sad, you know. A lot of people, they could have prevented a lot of people from being hurt had they addressed this. If people had even told or come forward. But a lot of people stayed quiet and didn't say anything. So that's why things continued. That's why nothing changed. But it looks like P. Diddy's karma has finally caught up with him. It'll be interesting to see how things unfold. I do not think that he's innocent, but I do believe that there are others involved. The question is, are they going to be held accountable as well? My prayers go out to the victims and to their families. It's really sad that something like this could happen to anyone. And they said that P. Diddy was abusing women. He was abusing women and men, not just women. There were men involved too, according to the allegations, that is. But over the years, over the decades, there has been a lot of death that has surrounded him. I was in high school when Tupac was killed, when Biggie died, when he was killed. And they happened within months of each other. And P. Diddy, he was the one who capitalized, who benefited monetarily the most from Biggie Smalls' death. And I heard he didn't pay his artist right either. So a lot has come out, and I hope that more people will come forward and tell their sides of the story too. You know, the last couple of years have been quite interesting. A lot has been brought to light. A lot has come out. And I hope this trend continues. We could see more right in the world instead of darkness and bad things go unnoticed. So please remember to like the video and share any comments that you have. Just please remember to keep them respectful. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Our time is now. Let's change the world.